Hi, Jessica. I am 33 and my girlfriend is 35. We've been together for almost 11 years. She accidentally had a baby with a guy who didn't perform any marriage rites on her, so they are no more. My parents said the guy she had a baby with is my distant family relative, but my enquiries show that we are not from the family my parents claimed we were from. Her family members have agreed we can get married and are waiting for me to come and perform all the marriage rites. Sisters, she's now pregnant with our baby, and my father is saying he would disown me if I go ahead to marry her. My mother also says she won't agree to the marriage, but I can take my baby after she delivers. My other siblings are divided over the issue. One side agrees and one side doesn't. What should I do? Because we love each other dearly.
Let me come to you, Tina. What are your thoughts on this particular one?
Just what were they doing in the relationship for 11 years? And then no more.
Well, I mean, if you do the calculation, if he's 33, 11 years ago, he was what? 22.
22.
Very young.
He was 21.
Yeah.
And then the lady was 23.
Yeah.
And she accidentally got pregnant.
Accidentally.
Wow.
Patricoto.
Like she was just there and somebody just threw sperms at her and then she got pregnant. Wow. Anyway, it's a very difficult situation you find yourself in, because your parents have deliberately told you that you are distantly related to the guy who impregnated her. I mean, they are finding ways and means to let you know that this marriage will not work. They don't agree to it. Okay, well, let me just talk about me. I have time and again, admonished that anytime you are in a relationship that your family does not, agree to, you need to sort of work your way around it very carefully. Trying to get your family on your side, because you actually need the blessing of your family to continue the marriage or to enter into marriage. Sometimes people defy all odds and say that we don't care, we don't need the support of family and friends, we will get married on our own. And if they are honest and true, when the going gets tough, it becomes very disastrous because they don't have anywhere to turn to. Family is everything. And when we say that, we don't say it lightly, because the backing of family can push you far in your marriage, and especially for both families. With your case, the girl's family wants you to actually, you have the girl's family's blessing, but you don't have your family's blessing. What I would advise you to do, your mom has already told you that she can collect the baby, or she will advise you to collect the baby after it has been delivered, because it's yours. But as for the marriage, she's not into it. What I would say is that because of the whole mess around, you don't have my blessing, you have my blessing, those kind of things, take your time. Do not rush. Do not rush into finalizing things in marriage. By all means, continue with your relationship and take care of the baby, as in the pregnant woman and then your unborn child. But in the course of all this, try to get somebody who can speak with your parents. So, i.e., you can get another family member, like maybe an uncle or a respected person in your family who can speak with your parents. Or you speak to the lady's family to sort of, approach your parents, so that they can have a conversation and because it is beyond you now. The two of you love yourselves and everything is fine. If you necessarily want your family's blessing, then it's beyond you now. So please look for some people that your parents will respect or would heed to or will listen to advice from, and have a meeting and try and warm your way through, because sometimes it's only a conversation away that you can be able to get this thing done. But definitely, if you want to, the thing is in two parts. You can decide to ignore everybody and go your way and get married and take your baby. But if you do that and something happens, you don't have anywhere to turn to, and it can be difficult. The second leg of it too is that if you necessarily want your family's blessing, then you have to work your way gradually, to sort of convince your parents. And you need your father's blessings if that's what you want. So please, don't rush into marriage. The whole situation is messy. Take care of the woman, take care of your unborn child, continue the relationship, but be working on both families to make sure that they sort of come to a consensus.
All right. Cool. Rosina, how much weight should people give on, let's say, the blessings of their parents or, say, family members, just in relation to this conversation? And then you can address the question as a whole. What do you think?
Okay, so no one really gets the opportunity to choose their family. You just happen to be born into a family. And it's very difficult to see family disown their own. No matter what happens, there's always somebody in the family who would say, look, yes, you're an armed robber, yes, you're a prostitute, yes, you're this, but you're part of us, too. So family is that place where if everything fails, you still have your family. So sometimes it's important that when you're taking lifelong decisions, it's important that you get family's consent. Because when you don't have family's consent, when things get sour, it gets very difficult to backtrack, to go back to family for that comfort or to rehabilitate yourself. So family is very important. Now, that being said, you see, parents love their children such that they always want the best for their children. It's not that they are not aware that there are issues in marriages. They are aware, but anytime, that's why sometimes people say that when couples are having issues, the last person you should run to at any instance is your parents. Because sometimes when you run to your parents and you tell your parents what your husband has done to you, or what your wife has done to you, or what your boyfriend or girlfriend has done to you, even when you get to forgive the person, your parents, the kind of love they have for you, the kind of plans they have for you, the value they put on you, they cannot forgive the other party, even though you have forgiven the other party. Now, in this case, like Tina said, accidentally got pregnant, and she's been able to sell the accidental pregnancy to the man. And the parents are probably thinking, look, a woman that you are in a relationship with, who would bring a child by another man, which means that one, she slept with somebody, two, it was unprotected, will get up and say that that particular activity was accidental. I mean, what kind of value does this woman place on my son? Or does he take my son for a fool? Those are the questions that need to be addressed. You understand? Those are the questions that need to be addressed. So because of that, it becomes very difficult for a parent to watch the son go into a life commitment with such a person. So that is why it's important that the husband or the man takes his time to warm the parents into accepting the other woman. And that's where I'll go outside with Tina. That look, you've already gotten the girl pregnant already. Like Tina said, your parents were trying to detract you. They told you that you guys are related, you guys have family, you guys should not be, whatever. So just to detract you, but you still found a way to justify whatever it is that you wanted to do, which is fine. But beyond that, now that she's gotten pregnant, at least your mother has told you that own up to your responsibility. And normally when you have a child with somebody, you have a perpetual link with the person. You can never say, that child, I didn't have it with this person. So maybe this is the opportunity you can take to look after your baby, probably let your wife come more and more towards your house, and let your parents experience your wife more. so that whatever you see in your wife, your parents can also see in your wife and then give you their blessings. Because, come on, think about it. Maybe it's just because they haven't forgiven her yet. And it's just because they feel like she's been able to puppet you for you to believe in that whole mistakenly gotten pregnant idea. And they're not comfortable with that. So I would say that, look, family is important. Sometimes what our parents see sitting down, even on a Mount Hill cry, you can't even see, you can't even imagine it. So you don't know why they are saying these things. You don't know why they're detracting you. So give it a bit of attention. But in the same vein, whatever you see in this woman that you think that this woman is my lifelong companion, try and sell it to your parents gradually. And who knows, they may buy into it. But this accidental pregnancy, actually,
would your responses change if you realize that perhaps it's in the way the guy framed it, and that all he was trying to say was that the lady is like, she already had a kid before she met him, so it's not like they were dating and she accidentally met someone else or had a baby with someone else? Would any of your comments change?
Okay, well, if the baby was before, and it could be through any means, maybe she was young, she was naive, she probably was even raped. If that's the case, that's a little different. But then again, like I keep saying that, for instance, when a woman has a child, you know how they refer to her as born one, born two? Society sees it, or they target negative, that you're a woman, you're not married, and you have children. People usually tend to stigmatize you for no reason, just because you have a child. So like I keep saying that, look, maybe it's not her fault. Maybe she had a child before they got together, and, whatever the circumstances were is understood. But maybe the parents also want, a fresh woman for their son who hasn't tainted himself. For their son is very good, hasn't been involved with any other woman. She is the son's first, and they are feeling bad that Memebano is the woman's first, and this woman has been with somebody else and even has a child with somebody else. So, I think that it's just every man's dream to have a woman to themselves, not a woman who has issues with somebody else. So I think it's all about the brain. It's all about, getting your parents there with you. But defying your parents and going ahead with it is not the best way.
Olivia, do you share the same opinion as Rosina?
Yeah, you can't defy your parents in such a situation as this. It's very dicey. I wish she hadn't slept with her, to be honest, because if you hadn't slept with her, it would have been a completely different story. It takes my mind back to what the sisters were saying about the fact that, okay, she's got a child already, and automatically, not that I'm judging, but automatically you'd expect that because she had a child already, she would be much more careful in this relationship. And it almost also looks as if, okay, this is the only way we could actually get parents to agree for us to be together. So maybe let's get pregnant. Because I'm thinking it could be wrong, because it could have been that both of them could have come together to say, because you already have a child, my parents may not agree, so maybe let's get pregnant. Because I'm also not quite buying the whole accidentally got pregnant excuse they're giving. But at the end of the day, she's pregnant, and it is what it is. So the question is, how do they move on? So in moving on, I think, the sisters have said it, you can't go past your parents because you need the blessings of your parents. Your siblings, as it stands, they're very, they're both in between. They can't say go, they can't say don't go. So it's a very dicey situation you find yourself in. My take will be, find somebody that your parents listen to, and try and explain to them that, okay, it is what it is. This girl has gotten pregnant, and your values, just as you see them, your parents together with your siblings, your parents are together. And if your father doesn't have kids all over the place, you could cite their relationship or their marriage as an example to them and let them know that, okay, mom and dad, this is you're amazing parents, your children are together, and you don't want the situation whereby you would have kids and the kids will be scattered. Yes, the girl agreed, she's had a child already, but at the end of the day, your heart really belongs with her. and you don't want to live life without her, and you also don't want to have, you know, a child with this woman and then have another child with another woman and all of that, and that you'd like to keep your family a very close, secure unit. So get somebody who they respect, that would actually listen to you and listen to where you're coming from. The good thing is that at least the girl's parents are not opposing to your relationship. So at least that's a hurdle that you don't have to worry about. But moving forward, you really need the support of your parents. You need the support of your siblings, because, you know, like they say, you see, right now you're in love, you're happy, you know, you never know tomorrow. And I wouldn't, moving forward, I really will not condone premarital sex. But if you start getting intimate with a lady, I'm sorry, my dear, you need to have an idea of her period calendar, you know, and you need to know when she's safe, when she's not safe. You need to take charge as a man. I find most relationships out there, a lot of people get intimate, and I mean, it's a rough world out there. You want to know that you are actually responsible for the pregnancy. There's no such thing as accident. You know, I mean, well, some people beg to differ, but if you are a responsible person and you know that, you know, you want to have sex, then have protected sex. If you don't want to, please, by all means, know what you're getting yourself into. But I mean, if you go my way and abstain, please do abstain. It's always the best. It saves you a lot of wahala. But at least moving forward, that's something I think that you need to put into your portfolio. It helps you become better aware of your situation, and helps you also better your intimate life with your partner. Like, I mean, I'll use myself as an example. I mean, if it hadn't been for my husband, I probably would have had like 10 kids. But he's always on, you know, on the app, on my period app, so he knows, okay, my dear, you're safe today, you're not safe today. Charlie, do you want to buy diapers again? I'm like, no. And then we have other alternatives to use in terms of being intimate. See what I mean? So yeah, by all means, have the consent of your parents and be much more responsible when it comes to your sexual life. Yeah,
all right. Okay, interesting revelation there. 10 kids, you said, but yeah. Anyway, we will talk about that later. But yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you guys. I mean, it's a long journey. You know, it's a long journey to not have the support of family who are supposed to stick with you and by you through thick and thin, you know. And so as much as possible, you want to let them experience the woman for themselves. You know, this woman you want to make your wife themselves, so they can also sort of appreciate that perhaps they're still seeing her as a stranger. Let her get closer to your family, and who knows, they may change their minds. We wish you the best of luck with that one. We'll go for a quick commercial break. It's Sister Sister on Citi TV and 97.3 Citi FM. And you're welcome back to Sister Sister on Citi TV and 97.3 Citi FM. Your comments are always welcome to the show. You can actually send, you know, if you have questions for us as well, send them ahead of time to Jessica at citifmonline.com. And if you've sent questions, and we do have quite a number that we're not able to address every single week, but, you know, subsequent episodes will definitely touch on them. So please, you know, just have that patience for us. Or better yet, you can just, like I said, follow us on Facebook, like our page, and, you know, some of the questions get answered on that platform as well. Sister Sister Live is what you want to be looking out for. Our WhatsApp number is still 054 998 6996.